Hi, namaste, good evening, uh, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to Tasveer. Welcome to this exclusive conversation with the cast and crew of 12 by 12 Untitled. We have the director, the producer, the uh, major actors here with us today, and we'll talk about the film and we'll talk about them. Um, a fabulous film. I really loved it. It's my I shouldn't be saying this, but it's my personal favorite from the festival. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it's.
Thank you, Ivagar.
So we have let me just quickly go through the names here. We have Gaurav Madan, who is the director, co-producer, and co-writer of
Hi,
the film.
Gaurav.
Hi, you.
And we have Sunny Lahiri, who is the co-producer and co-writer.
And cinematographer.
Hi guys.
But his lighting seems to be missing today.
Yeah.
Where's the lighting?
And we have Gyanendra, Tripathi, Geetika, and Bhumika, the three major actors from the film. Welcome, all of you.
Thank you
So much.
Thank you for having us.
Bakar.
Thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. I'll start with Gaurav. This is your first, this is your debut feature film, but you're not new to films. You've done a lot of, you've assisted in a lot of films. You've done a lot of films, and you've done a lot of television commercials and things like that. Like, how did you stumble upon this story? Why did you decide to make this story?
Okay. So this was not supposed to be my first feature film. I and Sunny, we were working on another film, which is called Kannamanda. And we were working on that script for a while. The story of Bara by Bara actually, Sunny kind of came up with this idea because he was working on another film for which he went for a recce to Banaras, and he happened to meet this character, the death photographer. And we started discussing about it. We saw a couple of short docus about it, and the character really intrigued me because I thought it was very novel. It was very cinematic, and it had not been explored. So I was game, and I really wanted to meet this character, and I really wanted to know him. There was tremendous cinematic potential, like I said. So we thought, the other film will happen whenever it has to, but we need to make this. So then me and Sunny, we kind of landed up in Banaras and started working on the script, and then everything fell in place. And Bara by Bara actually became my debut feature film. So that's how it really happened.
Okay, so I go now to Sunny. Tell us about your approach to, or like, how did you go about writing it, co-writing it, and this has been written as to make it look like a documentary, right? So how did it go about? How did you approach the process?
Hey, hi guys. Okay, so I think now I'm good. So okay, the documentary part I'll come later, but me and Gaurav, we work on a bunch of stuff. We have written 2 more films before that. So this was actually our third co-writing thing. Though it got made first, but this is our third co-written script, technically. So as Gaurav was mentioning, so this character was a part of my another script, which I was working with somebody else, but I kind of didn't have that character for that film because this character became too big on that film. So I kind of, one fine night when we were as independent filmmakers, dejectedly drunk, me and Gaurav, and we were like, let's make a film. Let's kind of, what, do we need producers? No, we need money because we can produce it. So we were like, let's get the money and let's produce it. But what's the film? So me and Gaurav have spoken about this character 2-3 times before that, and we were trying to kind of do something with this character. And then Gaurav said, let's do this as a film. And that's how it all started, in that one night where we actually were sitting at my place in Bombay, and we were like, okay, what, if you want to make this film, how do we go about it? And then we basically said, okay, now we want to do this. Now for doing this, definitely we have to write a film. How do we want to go about it? Then I said, like, let's, a film like this, the space which we are thinking about needs the physical space to be in. So me and Gaurav said, okay, we will actually write it in Banaras. So we'll go for 20 days, give it a shot, try and raise some money and see if we can make the film. And that was practically the first conversation. And somehow in the next 7 days, a lot of things fell in place. And somehow we kind of got to Banaras, and then we started writing the film. And I don't know about, so I constantly keep saying, and I really believe that documentaries editing has taught me fiction's writing. So I was trying to kind of see it in that way where I can use the physical space of Banaras, and I had this dramatic character, and me and Gaurav, we always used to speak about this fact that how do we kind of not do a Banaras film and not make it look like how Banaras films has happened before us. Like, I love a lot of them, but at the same time, it was a conscious thing in our space. So we started writing it, and then we started really writing it in a way where we were actually writing is based on a lot of real locations. And I believe that spirit flowed into the shooting, and that's why the documentary part of it kind of comes to people's mind. But yeah, so we kind of ended up walking and talking every day, and that turned into a script.
So why is it important for you guys to, make it like a documentary?
It is not. We want to make it as a fiction, and I believe we have made it as a fiction. Everything is planned to the T. Everything is designed. We we didn't have the luxury of going on shooting. We were shooting on Super 16, so we would do 10 rehearsals. You have seen the film, so you know that the film generally does not go for a lot of, it has a certain pace to it, and it does not believe in the traditional long shot, mid shot, close up kind of a situation. And that is also because what we shot is what you have. So we were almost shooting a film school diploma shooting ratio. Like we ended up kind of in a film which had a shooting ratio of 1:3.5, under 4. That is that much we shot. The part about the documentary, because it is in real situations, in real locations, but how else do you make it? Like, like if I'm telling a real story of a real person in 2021, don't I want to see the real spaces of 2021, how those spaces are? Like, I am a cinematographer myself, and I can always, like, we know all the gimmicks. We keep doing that in advertising films, but why not? Why kind of not have a film which stays truly true to the core of the purpose of making the film,
To add to it, the documentary.
Yeah, Gaurav would like to add something.
The documentary feel that you actually see when you actually watch the film, it has a lot to do. There is a logistical reason to it also, because if you like really see the film again, all the interior scenes seem a lot staged and planned and all of that. So we were a crew of 30 to 35 people on any given shooting day. So all the exterior scenes in those narrow lanes of Banaras with all the hustle and bustle around, there was fires being brought in. There was ash, there was fire, there was cattle. We had to fight with all of that, crowds. So we couldn't really manage the crowds. We didn't have the manpower to do that. So we very cleverly followed a way of shooting where we staged our scenes within the ambience which was there in Banaras.
Right,
so it
true.
was also a very logistical filming decision, conscious decision that we took. That's why you actually see that, get the documentary feeling when you watch the film.
It was like more like we cannot recreate this entire thing on a stage because we didn't have that kind of a production design budget. So just to kind of even have a richer visual, what we thought is like we will leave the surroundings in the documentary space the way it is, and we will stage our characters within it. So every scene is a written scene. Every character is staged and told how to kind of the actors and everything of a fiction filmmaking is there. But definitely we did it out in a real location. So we were kind of blending the formats, like the filming was more in the documentary space, but we kind of had it as fiction as it is in terms of design, like everything in terms of where we will shoot and what we see in the background. All of those were pre-decided. We didn't decide it on the location on the day of the shoot. But yes, we thought that to make the film visually rich and to actually make the film feel a lot more closer to the audience, we wanted to kind of put that Banaras out. We thought, let's kind of try and not recreate it in a substandard way, but kind of use the reality and place our fiction within that reality and kind of try and create a blend of that.
Yeah, it comes out very clearly, the reality of that you tried. So Gaurav, like if you can mute yourselves when you're not speaking, I think a lot of noise is coming for everyone.
Sunny, can you?
Yeah. So Gaurav, I noted the film is it might be a bit slow for a lot of people, and you come from a background of television commercials. Like how do you migrate to this slow pace of filmmaking?
I don't think there was a migration of that sort. Like though a very prominent theme of my film is migration, but I don't think I really migrated because I had always had this side to my work. Television commercials actually happened accidentally to me. I always wanted to do long format, but somehow I stumbled into advertising, and there is money in advertising. So you actually continue doing it for a while, but I don't think I really migrated to this. I had this side, this germ in me right from the beginning, where but when this subject now, Yubakar, this can be made into a very overtly dramatic film also. A fast-paced film, dramatic with this character, and there's so much. When you go to Banaras, there's so much happening. There's so much thrill to living in Banaras, or telling a story in Banaras. But we kind of knew that we had to tell this story in this way, and that side I was telling you about actually came out while making this film, and yeah, it's there in front. So I really did not migrate, I would say.
Yeah, the pace. I think to me, the pace of the film is what brings out the lifelike experience for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, for everyone else also, if you have some thoughts, it's not just me asking questions to someone. If you have some thoughts, you can just jump in for everyone. So I like to now go to Gyanendra. Is the main lead character, Suraj. And I know that you've done a lot of television and films, including Netflix's Raat Akeli which I've watched. But you're definitely not I think you're not a photographer, right? How did you bring about that experience to this role? How did you prepare, let's say, for this role?
Hi, Ivaka. Thank you so much for having us. Uh, uh, so it's wonderful that even I'm getting to revisit so many uh, aspects of this film once again while listening to Gaurav and Sunny. So, if I can briefly comment on the that part, documentary feel of the film, uh, they didn't let us believe, feel for even for a moment that there was constraint of budget or anything.
Mm,
But yeah, we were making a small film, and now when I see from this perspective that we didn't have production design, we couldn't design the sets and all of that, and we couldn't bring in a lot of crowds in the scenes, and we could control the crowd whenever we want to shoot. So I think it's amazing that they place these characters, and Gaurav uh, you know directed us in a way that we look the part of the crowd, not stand out as actors, and we tried our best. So yeah, and as far as the preparation goes, the moment I heard about this character whose occupation is to take photographs, the last photograph of a dead body of a human being. That kind of attracted me a lot because now what's happening with you know our characters don't work. We don't know what they do for living, you know, and that's like kind of weird to see in cinema that we don't know where they're making their money or living their life from. And this has always fascinated me, even as a human being. The kind of occupations are there in this world. How people, somebody, uses in India, especially, so many occupations there, and to explore what they do when they go back home. They have a family, and how do they live and run their household. That was fascinating, and so I jumped into it. And preparation, I think credit goes to Gaurav. He gave the camera, a small camera, and asked him, just keep handling it, make this a part of your body, and that's what I did. And then I was there about 15 years well in advance in Banaras, and I visited all those places. That was the first time I went to Banaras, and
mm,
yeah, while slowly talking and discussing what is the world, how these characters would appear on screen, and what are their issues, dilemmas, aspirations, all these things. Gaurav kept on talking. Then I saw a couple of small documentaries made on these characters who, in Banaras, who click photographs of the dead bodies, and that kind of helped me to get into it. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, Gyanendra. Bhumika, you play a role of Meena Suraj's wife. It's a very a strong character, a woman who is sort of managing everything at home and managing like she's holding everything together. She leads a lot of things in the film. Yeah, tell us your experience of the film.
Hi, Yubaka. Hi, everyone. So, uh, when the casting person Shivam came up with the project, so he said that you have to be in Banaras, and this is the script, and this is like, okay, Meena, I know Meena so well. I can relate to her so much because I hail from Indore. Like, I'm related to Indore. So the backstory of Meena was that she's the one woman who's from Indore, got married in Banaras, and now she's staying there. So I've seen Meena in my own family. My mother, in some ways, she's Meena herself. So yeah, Meena came from there. And so before I started acting for cinema, I initially used to do theater, and it was a very first experience to work in front of a film camera, because it comes with like much more things. Like you really have to be like well rehearsed when you're going to like before the shot. And I think so. It was for me. It was like I'm not like here for a film. I'm here doing theater, and everything was so authentic.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was something I really loved about the film.
Is it like how is it different from acting in other, let's say, like other, for the lack of a better term, now, I mean, the mainstream fictional fiction, than this, like, something that's shot like a documentary?
I think so. It's very different. I think so. Bara by Bara is my very first project, like independent project for feature length, and it's more near to what I really want to do as an artist. It involves that authenticity. It's involved that it's like the entire process is so organic, which I don't think so. Uh, like you get to see in like other when we go for like with other projects, which are much more commercial in nature. So I think so. Bara by Bara somewhere gave me like my voice also as an artist.
Thank you. Yeah, as I said, like you guys can jump in if you have something to say in between as well. So I'll move on to Geetika, who plays Mansi, the sister in the film. And you, I know you from Sony, also.
That's
Fabulous,
my honor.
yeah, fabulous film. And my wife just also reminded me that you were also in Thappad, another amazing film, amazing role. So
That's also my honor.
yeah, so how do you choose your roles? How do you choose your films?
With my heart. I try to gauge the spirit or the intention of the director who will be helming everything, whose vision will be realized on the screen, whose mind spaces the audience will be traveling when they watch the screen. So I try to gauge, I try to understand what the director's vision is like, what goes on in the spaces in between the director's thoughts. Is there empathy? Is there kindness? Is there a desire to tell stories? Why is the person doing what he's doing? A lot goes into my a lot of time and energy goes into satisfying my intuition or gut or something which isn't just mind but spirit, into agreeing that yes, I want to collaborate with this human being, be it a man or a woman, who will be making his vision real on the screen, whose thoughts we will be giving bodies to. So that first thing is that. Another is reading the script, and which one happens before is it completely depends from project to project. Sometimes you end up talking to the director as the first human being from the team. Sometimes he's the last person you're allowed to speak with, which is when the script takes over. If I do not have access to the director, I try to do to the script what I said I would like to do to the director, who's a human, his brain or mind or intentions. Then I replace that human being with the script on paper. A lot of times I will say scripts have chosen me. They come up to me and I am grateful that, oh, it came my way. How do I reject things? I know. How do I choose them? The things that I do not choose, the things that I do not reject, I end up doing those. So what are the things that I do not want to do? That's becoming clearer every day. What would I want to do is what I didn't reject. So that's that.
Yeah. So how do you relate to this character, Mansi, in 12 by 12?
The strength of spirit needed to leave your loved ones behind because you're aspirational, because you have dreams. The ability to love across, like last evening also, I don't know if you or Rita ended up reading the story that I posted in Instagram. I said, shall be meeting you soon across geographical, political borders and screens. So our very, the one aspect which is ingrained into all of us now is to be able to express emotions across borders, across screens. Mansi is that she isn't where her roots are. She's in different cities. She's interacting with her lovers with her lover on a video call when she's in her hometown. She's interacting constantly with the woman, the anchor of her family, her sister-in-law, Bhoji, Bhabi, Mansi, when she's away. She has chosen to let go of a father who wouldn't allow her dreams to flourish. So her ability to give wings to her own dreams, the strength that she has in knowing how to love, but still be managing to stay away from those who she loves. So her deep love for herself is where I relate with her.
Wow. So all the three actors here, what is your, like, the best scene from the film, or the most difficult one, or most memorable one in the film or during the shooting?
I have it easy. Should I start? So that
Yes.
Gyanendra and Bhumi get time. And it's happening. Gyanendra mentioned that, like, it started with Gaurav, Sunny's in your conversation about this, about the film looking like a documentary. Then Gyanendra pointing it out that we as actors are getting to revisit a lot of things that Sunny and Gaurav probably have been visiting daily because of the editing needs, because of the distribution needs, or whatever. We as actors had left a lot behind, and we are coming back to it. So when I talk about this scene, which is absolutely close to my heart, it I thought of it when I was listening to all of you talking about how we did not manufacture a set. We had the luxury, for me it was a luxury, to be told that here is a world, just go fit into it, be a part of it, try to not stand out, you know. So when you know that the camera has your focus on you, you do not need to stand out, you just need to be. So when I as a human being had to stand on the bank of river Ganga where fires were burning, and I just had to stand there and look at a fire burning, which fortunately wasn't that of a dear one, but it certainly was someone's dear one who was departing there. I just had to stand there on those stairs. I felt just blessed to be allowed to be there. And I felt we were slightly, all of us were audacious in making a choice of shooting there and then. Like Gaurav mentioned, we didn't have the luxury of creating things like that, which also, we were also bound by the human sentiment of not disturbing the grieving ones. We were just, because actors are empathetic, they absorb so much of everything that goes around them. For us to be there and to be captured by a camera was a lot of moments were very delicate, where I was about to talk about one scene, but then now I'm realizing there were multiple moments where we just had to be, and everything around would color us, and the camera was capturing us, and it felt very, you feel like a very tiny thing in the larger scheme of things. And for the camera to be noticing you, and that the world will get to watch it, we know that they'll be experiencing something holistic where we'll just be a part, and we're not the ones anchoring things. So feeling so little of feeling, I will later on come up with the word, probably maybe some other actor would come up with it, but feeling so not responsible for anything, just feeling like a little part of the entire mise en scene was very liberating.
Yeah.
Can I just interrupt? Minimal, Geetika, minimal is the word.
I've rejected. I don't think that's the word. Thank you for trying to help.
Can I suggest one more word?
Yes.
Maybe
I might.
Insignificant in the larger scheme of things.
Yes. Yeah.
In the universe of the film.
Yes.
Yeah. So Gyanendra, your experience.
Yubakar, you asked which was the most enjoyable or memorable day of the shoot. All the days were memorable. It's just that I'm just made that way that I happen to remember. Yeah, I mean, I'm just made that way that I happen to remember the things which did not, I couldn't reach to my potential, or where I thought I could do. So those things keep haunting me. And what went fine, doesn't stick too long with me. I don't know if that's a problem or what. So one scene, if I have to pick, which I like in the film, as an actor, if you say it's there in the trailer also, when taking the photograph of a dead body and asking, then just fix the car and all that. So that thing has come out smooth. That scene has come out smooth, and then there were moments, small little moments where I and Gaurav and script and character, everything started sinking in, coming on the same page. So after spending a week's time on the set, I started understanding what he wants and how much he wants me to express, and what is it that I'm not supposed to do for Suraj, and also in this film. Sorry, am I not seeing?
Yeah,
you are.
Okay. So yeah, those were the moments in the film. And so when we shot that, and there was some small little improvisations. 99.99% it's a well written, everything was on the screen. But I remember there was a small little scene where I'm showing photographs to Tathagat, I think the character's name, who's a bigger photographer, who comes to yeah. So while showing a picture, I say he died in an accident. That wasn't written. It just came instinctive. So those were the moments that you feel okay. You are in it completely. You're not trying. Your craft is aside, and then you're just being there.
Yeah.
And then there was a scene which we were shooting like 2 a.m. or 2:30 a.m. in the night. Me and Bhumika, we were drunk in that scene. We were supposed to be drunk in.
We're pretending to be drunk in this scene.
Yeah, we were pretending to be drunk. I mean, we were drunk as characters, but not as actors. It was a long day, and there was nothing which was happening to our bodies. So we had to resort to the craft, and so like Gaurav, good thing about his direction was, which I have never experienced with any other
sorry to interrupt, Gyani.
Yeah.
That was our audition scene, Gyani. Remember?
Which went so well in the audition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have it on my phone actually. That tape, the audition tape, because it is so good. Both of them came together. I think both of you didn't like really know each other. You were acquainted with each other at that
No.
time when you.
Yeah, that was the
And
first meeting we
Yuvakar,
had.
I must tell you, while auditioning, both of them came individually, separately to audition for their parts, and I happened to be there, taking the test myself, and I just instinctively picked out the scene because I could see, when I saw them individually coming in, and when I saw them standing together, I could instinctively feel some vibes. And I picked out that one scene which is a lot about the chemistry between a husband and wife, and after a fun party, a fun moment, and there is also a lot of philosophy about their life and their life to come. So we did that scene together, and I just knew that here are my Suraj and Meena. I just instinctively knew, and I still have that tape on my phone. It is so good. Yeah. Sorry for jumping in,
Guys,
Bhumika.
I want that video now.
So you guys look fabulous. The chemistry is fabulous there. And Gyanendra, I'm talking about small scenes. One of my favorites. I mean, there are a lot, but one of my favorites is also when I forgot the character name. The guy, your friend, takes out the money from the ATM, and
Dube.
Dube.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I was about to mention when he says ki, you also take out few lakhs, and what happened to me, because I had no money at all, and the way I reacted, that was a small little bit, but something happened there.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite too. So, Bhumika, what's your favorite scene or events?
I think I would take forward what just Geetika said. I really enjoyed being insignificant in that space and experience the inclusivity from the people of Banaras. So there was this procession, Bharat scene, where it was a 6 hours of Bharat, because you're shooting again. We are passing that same lane again. And we all are dancing, but at a point of a time, people who are there from Banaras, the local artists from Banaras, after a point of a time, they were like, okay, they are part of the entire setup. They are not outsiders.
Yeah.
So that was the most fun scene and fun night. It was a difficult shoot also. I remember how Sunny was struggling with the camera because it was hand-handled. So all these I really enjoyed experiencing that warmth at that point of a time from the local artists of Banaras.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling to not get recognized when you're shooting on this, in a real location, and people don't treat you as if, you're doing something weird thing, and you're in the middle of the scene, and somebody would come sit next to you with cup of tea, and start talking about the scene. Bro, I'm in the shop.
Yeah, that happened a lot.
It's very liberating. Everything goes so easily. It's so easy after a point.
Sometimes you have to include those people, in the scene.
Absolutely.
Make that a conversation part of it, and still carry on what you have to do.
The other woman from the local artist from Banaras, she came and just आपका ब्लाउज खराब हो रहा है, मुझे ठीक करने दीजिए. अच्छा कहाँ खराब हो रहा है? अच्छा ये चूड़ा ले लीजिए, ये भी. इनका नहीं, ये अच्छा है, मैं घर से लेकर आई हूँ. So yeah, I really enjoyed those little moments when we were shooting that scene.
I would like to, about Bhumika, there are a couple of scenes which I really like, my personal favorites. So there are two scenes with Suraj where they're sitting on the bed. It's like a ritual of the husband wife, where after a long day coming to an end, they have this little exchange. So there is a scene where Bhumika is looking at her own pictures clicked by Suraj, and she says, "मैं इतनी सुंदर दिखती हूँ." She questions him, and there is one more scene where they are talking whether the sister will come, whether Mansi will come to Banaras. And Bhumika has this exceptional quality of really holding up things, and it's almost like a tease, Yuvakar. You know, she sometimes she's a big tease that way, because you know that the moment is coming, that but she holds it, and it sometimes becomes painful in a good way, you know, because I have started liking the tease now, those silences a lot more, especially after going through the experience of making this film. So there's, and all about all of them, I mean, they're all amazing. You have seen the film, and you know, I would like to add a word about the overall casting of the film. uh, they are all of them have like done tremendous job, but I felt that the casting of the film happened, there was some magic to it, because, you know, fascinatingly, all of them have, you know, personal traits, a lot of personal traits, that they are almost mirror images of the characters in their characters in real, you know. So it is so fascinating, and all of them have sort of personal tragedies or personal happinesses or personal incidents, which are synonymous with their characters. And it was so amazing, and I found it out slowly, you know, through the process of the film, that they have so much, you know, upsettingly similar with their characters, you know, the losses, the connections, the relationships. You know, I'll also tell you about a bit about Akash, who played Dube. He's not there. You know, Akash is actually Gyanendra's senior from the film school. They went to an acting school, FTI, and I didn't know it. When we did the casting, I didn't know it. I came to know later. And you know, when Akash also came to Banaras, Gyani was also there. We were interacting. We were talking about their chemistry as friends. They already had it magically, because there used to be a banter between them, in, you know, typical film school banter, and they had a sort of a relationship which was also a bit uncomfortable at times, because Akash is Gyani's senior. But it happened so fascinatingly well for the film, that chemistry both of them had. It's a real one. So all the actors, like I would say they were like God sent for me and for the film, all of them. And you know, I'm so glad for that personal connection that they already had. Somehow.
So Sunny, you guys, I mean, I also want to ask you what's your favorite scene or a memory from the film, but also, can you tell us a little bit about, you guys saw it in Celluloid, right? Yeah. So can you also talk about a little bit about that? Why did you decide to do that, and the experience with it, Sunny?
Whenever Sunny got the opportunity to shoot me in close-ups.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Yubaka. You're just bringing back a lot of sweet memories for all of us. Thank you so much. It's becoming overwhelming for me, for sure. And I can see it on 1, 2, 3 other faces that are very happy right now. And it's just some gratitude for you, while Gaurav looks for the answer.
Yeah, so Sunny
has taken a pee break, I think.
Yeah, so I'll come to Gaurav with another.
He's going to meet Dube ji.
So Gaurav, I just also wanted to ask you about the first scene of the film, and why was it important for your storytelling?
You know, actually, we started calling the first scene the white elephant of our film.
Sorry, what is that?
White elephant.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay. So because for some reason or the other, we could not actually can the first scene. You know, though it's the first scene of the film, we actually tried shooting it on multiple days, but we could not, for one reason or the other. So it became a white elephant for us. When we were finally able to can that scene, we thought, okay, now we have done something in this film, because the white elephant is gone today. But first thing, like in terms of the narrative, you know, I feel that it beautifully starts the narrative without giving away too much. I think I see it more as a prologue, where it is they are moments from the past, before the timeline of the actual narrative. It happens actually before the timeline of the story, where you see Suraj as a child, you see Banaras of say like 15-20 years ago, you see his father, the barber, but you only see glimpses and moments of them on ghats. And also, the first scene gives you just a little about the relationship of father and son, just a little bit, when he snatches the camera from him and he runs away and jumps into the river. So I feel it is an apt prologue, to give you a start of the narrative, which happens before the timeline. So I feel that it's a really nice and nice way of actually giving people a window into the world that they're about to see. There are things that are about to unfold in front of them. That's how I see the first scene.
Yeah. So Sunny, if you're back. Oh no, I think Gaurav can answer this question as well. Like, why did you guys decide
about
to
the cell? Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a creative decision, Yubakar. When we.
Oh, did I miss something? I'm sorry, guys.
Sunny, you have to answer a question.
Yeah. So Sunny.
Okay, sorry, Yubakar. It was like I was just trying to find a spot. Okay, let me get. Okay.
No problem. So shall I give you the question?
Yeah.
All right. So the question is,
please, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. So why did you guys decide to shoot it in celluloid? And your favorite moments from the film.
So shooting on film right now, the question, because how everything is, like we said, digital has come. Like I have grown shooting up on film, so I still think it is right now. It's more of a creative choice. Previously, that was the only medium to shoot on. But I think there is one word for me which I figured out why film, and that word is texture. So there is no, somehow I think digital, somehow I think the digital thing lacks texture, whereas film kind of brings that in.
Sunny, I think because you're moving, you're breaking up.
I also think, Yubakar, we have the main keywords, texture, so we have the answer.
When we were writing the money to do a lot, but once we started getting a little more money, what actually happened is we kind of ended up in a situation.
Yeah, texture.
Yeah.
Floated this idea to each other. Like I said, Gaurav, it was just.
Okay. I think we have
moving while talking.
Yeah. All right. So I think we got the gist of it. The texture, and I definitely look for an opportunity to watch it on big screen if I get it. That would be ultimate. We have to, I think, start wrapping up. It's slightly more than 45 minutes, I think. So yeah, I'll give an opportunity for everyone to say the last bit, whatever you I haven't asked, or whatever you want to add to the conversation. I'll start with Geetika.
I took out a photo of the scene which is the most favorite to me. Here, can you see?
Yes.
Yeah.
And when Gaurav says there were a lot of things that were magical about the film, that were meta I'm saying that were meta about the film, or there were connections. Bhumi started talking about the same scene where we were part of the larger milieu, and then she shifted to talking about something happy. Gaurav mentioned how when you started asking us how do we relate to the characters, Gyanendra, Bhumi, or I was thinking what was the director, how much the director know about us while casting. So I'll just end it on the note that when the film was happening, we could see fires burning. And looking at them, I knew that, okay, you get to live once, you don't get to redo things. And there will be a film camera shooting us where you just do it once or twice, you don't get to redo things. We were all theater people with theater backgrounds, experiencing very beautiful things in front of the camera. I came back with a lot of, I learned a lot, I experienced a lot, and it's been a delight to connect to this team, to get to know them. If you get to watch it on big screen at the cost of sounding whatever, I'll say it'll be a treat for you guys. Please try to watch this on big screen. I watched it. Oh yes, sometimes you'll feel as if you're inside the womb and watching something.
Oh wow, yeah. So Bhumika.
Yeah. Bhumika, you with us?
I would say that like the process. Sorry, am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so I just want to like to finish with this thing that how organic the, because I remember how just Gaurav and Sunny mentioned that they were in Banaras for them to absorb the town and like weaving the story around these three characters. And so I was just a small part who added on later and with some of my own authenticity, and I hope I have access to it. So yeah, organic is the word I would do.
I think your connection got a little bit sketchy there, on and off, but I think we got
the word organic.
Yeah. So, Gyanendra.
Yeah, Yuvakar, I think I would urge everyone to catch it in film festivals or wherever you get to see the film on big screen, because that's where that's where we always intended it to show. And what Sunny was talking about, and we happen to connect see a screening in Kerala International Film Festival, and even as a part of the cast and crew members who made the film, what we felt seeing it on a big screen, that experience was completely different than seeing the film on a smaller screen. So if the opportunity allows, please go and watch it on big screens. And I just quickly want to add one thing about Gaurav, my director. His ability to to see a truthful behavior, and and see if there's a performance happening and actor is using the craft to make fool out of the audience, or if he's really feeling that in the moment, is what an eye this guy has. And I had the best experience of my life as an actor in his hand as a director. I just wish that more and more directors have that kind of eye and sense towards behaviors of human beings. So even so it's even the small gestures of if it is not coming out with, if anything is happening without an intention, you would get it. And the way he sees life, human beings moving around, it was quite fascinating to try and fit in those frames. And I realized that after finishing my course from Film Institute, if one director who actually challenged me and, asked me to use all those, learnings, on a film set was Gaurav. So thank you, Gaurav, for
I
that.
think it's time to go. Time to go now.
Sunny, so we're wrapping up. So what do you want to add? You're on mute.
Yeah, but you thought Yubakar, you wanted
Yeah,
to
now
you
can
don't
you
ask
hear me,
me
guys?
answer questions at the end.
Okay, no. So I'm saying Bara by Bara is a very special film, and it won't be possible for any of them who are here in this interview, and a lot more people. Definitely, we can't always have, but every individual kind of have some contribution into the film. And I think these kind of films can only made in this way. I am in New York City. The film is playing here. So this is a live feed all across America. So anybody watching this in New York City, so my Bara by Bara, this film which we are talking about is playing tomorrow here at Helen Mills Event Center in Manhattan. So please go to the page of Bara by Bara. You find all the information. The film is at 8 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time in New York, 8 p.m. So if anybody wants to watch the film, come and watch it on a screen decently big enough than your television screens. Thank you.
And of course, you can also watch it in Tasveer till tomorrow.
Yes. I'm so sorry. So yeah, and definitely people across America. I'm like because I'm here at a physical venue. Sorry guys, I'm at a physical venue at it really like after like we all keep having virtual festivals, and like Vidya, that's the reason why I'm with you guys here, because Tasveer is really special to all of us. So I was like, but at the same time, just the fact that when you see people in front of you watching your film, I think that's a different feeling. So people watch it all over America, and in New York City, come here and watch it, please.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sunny. So I'll give the last words to Gaurav.
Gaurav, please also include Tasveer and Camera Ki Bataniya in the last words.
Okay. So my last word about the film is, we all feel that it's a special film, but it is also special in a unique way that we have been able to capture a historical turning of a leaf in the history of this ancient town. We have been able to document that in our film, which is, the major changes that are coming through in Banaras, Ganga Kashi Vishwanath corridor, mass demolitions of houses happening and all. We have been able to capture the real turning of a leaf in the history of this town. And that really makes this film special, apart from the story that we have told in the film, though it is also a part of the story. But it is a very unpleasant change that this ancient place is experiencing, which is very unsettling. And I know that people are going to refer to this film in the time to come to experience or to actually see the documentation, the turning of the leaf, which is an unpleasant one.
Yeah.
So I really want to thank you, Yubakar. I really want to thank Rita and Tasveer. We also have a screening in Seattle, right? And I urge all the people who are watching this to please go watch our film. It is also virtually available to watch till the 24th, and obviously New York. So please, and thank you so much, guys, for having us today.
Thank you so much for joining us in the conversation. This is one of the advantages of one of the perks of working in a festival. I get to talk to amazing, talented people like you, and a big hand to all of you. To 12 by 12 Untitled. Here's for life, death, and capturing moments in between. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yubakar.
Thank you, Yubakar.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye. If Rita is around, thank you to her as well.
Bye.
Thank you.